The promise of a clean slate. What have I learned through the years of making videos? At first I thought to myself, well, nothing much. But then I thought about it over and over again. And I said, yes, I did learn a lot. I learned that I am stronger than I ever thought I was. I learned through making these videos that I am not as weak as what I thought I was. In fact, I am very strong. Being a highly sensitive person, you would think that I would be considered weak. But facing my fears online for the world to see, no, I am not weak. I am strong. This winter has been a long one. I think we all say winter is long, but this year was exceptionally long for me. I spent my time indoors, but it was a hectic life, the life of busyness. I don't remember ever being so busy as I was this winter. The promise of spring. Normally, every year, the promise of spring brings on new energy for me. It makes me excited. It makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm starting all over. At first, I found myself just rolling out of bed and thinking, all right, Tessie, the days are a little bit longer. It's time to get to work. And before you knew it, day after day, week after week, all of a sudden, my energy started growing. And that had to do with the outlook of my life. I decided to start working in my gardens and doing things that were different than what I've done other years. I've decided to get rid of some things and transform my house the way I wanted it to. It all started with the bedroom. I started with the little house in the Prairie bedroom theme. I used up some Christmas money, some birthday money, bought some heirlooms and some dresses, and that is my favorite room of my whole house. I absolutely love it. When I was finished with that, I decided let's go on to the kitchen. And I love my comfy, homey kitchen. Actually, I love my whole house inside with the brown paneling, the brown carpet, and the brown coverlets on my sofas. I live in a brown, neutral nature world where brown is my favorite color. And then I decided to start going through my food pantries. And all of a sudden I had a renewed energy. I decided to use up the things that I had because I was stockpiling things, well, in case times got bad. I am a stockpiler. I love to stockpile anything. Soap. I love to stockpile essential oils, candle making supplies, food, and various knickknacks of the olden days. Many people who watch my videos say, oh my goodness, Tessie, you bring back so many memories of my life. Well, that's me. I love to live in the past, but maybe not too much in the past. I love to live in the happy past, not in the past of past failures or mistakes. I tend to make the same mistakes over and over again, but each time I learn something new about it. And each time, I'm getting better. Maybe by the time I'm 80 years old, I will be the perfect self that I want to be. Or maybe not. Then I decided it's time to work outside. Work in all of my different shanties and sheds and make them how I wanted them to be. Oh yes, very full. Lots of things. Lots of old things. Things that inspire me. Things that bring back the old days of living. I absolutely love it. I'm about ready to stop using my oil lamps because the days are longer and by the time the sun goes down, I am ready for bed. But what I decided to do to bring more peace into my life is every night my husband and I take a stroll around our home. We walk slowly. We gaze at the stars and the moon. We gaze at all of the solar lights that we have around our property. It's in many of them. That's one thing that was really nice with being able to work as a second job. I got a lot of products for free, and I love the solar lights. Everywhere you look, I have solar fountains. I love the sound of water. The trickling sound of water creates such peace in my life, and it gives me calmness. As I get older, I know that anxiety can be an issue, especially if someone like me who's lived in anxiety her whole life. Anxiety, it's that nasty word that seems to crop up here and there out of the blue with random thoughts of years gone by, of traumatic memories or things like that. So I create waterfalls. Everywhere you will see birds and waterfalls. And I absolutely feel like I'm in heaven. Working in the garden, my goodness, I love to work in the garden because I can let my thoughts go crazy. I can think of everything and anything I want, and as I'm thinking, I am turning that soil, turning that dirt, and creating beauty all at the same time. My mama used to say that her mother used to love kneading bread dough on days that she was stressed, because as she kneaded the bread dough, her nerves became untangled, and at the end of it all, she felt so much better and had a loaf of bread to show for it. So, my friends, I am ready for spring. I am ready for a clean slate. I am ready to show all the wonderful ways that I can create a peaceful environment. I used to say it's to create an Amish environment at home because it is a slow pace of living. And the Amish get a lot done, but they also have time to do a lot of reading and gardening and the things that they love. So, my friends, it's never too late to start over. The promise of a clean slate can be today. You can end all of the double thinking today. You can end all the troubles and strife and worry today. Create the life that you've always wanted, whatever that life may be. Create peace. There's no price tag to peace. There's no price tag to creating the home that you want. Use what you already have. Even if it's a tiny flower just coming up from the spring that everyone would say is a weed. I remember at the age of 3 picking these flowers. My mama would put them in a little teacup. My mother was not a worldly woman. My mother did not get much fancy things. She sewed her own dresses and sewed her own quilts, quilted all of her own coverlets. My mother loved the simple things, like the little flowers a 3-year-old picked for her. Those, my friends, are the memories that we keep in our hearts. And we remember that there's always the promise of a new day and a clean slate.